Congratulations, doctors, and happy graduation. I'd love to give you a few minutes of the standard graduation pleasantries now, but we only have a short time and serious things to talk about. You already know you're graduating into a dreadful time. As you become attending physicians, decisions that were in part made for you as trainees will now be yours alone. You will be forced to make particular calculations. You will weigh your student loans against your desire to volunteer. You will weigh the self-serving pleas for sacrifice from politicians against the human cost of doing nothing. You will weigh accepting the mantle of hero that is in part heartfelt from your neighbors, and in part being used by the powerful to excuse your possible death. You will weigh your personal safety and that of your family against a virus that has quite literally killed hundreds of your brother and sister physicians worldwide, never mind the hundreds of thousands of others. Navigating this is hard, and it's going to get harder. It's going to require calibrating your moral compass often, which isn't always easy to do in the middle of chaos. When I have doubts about mine, I try to go back to my roots. I was born in a small town north of New York City. My great-grandparents settled there when they arrived from Italy. One of my earliest childhood memories is my great-granddad, a lifelong volunteer firefighter, showing me around the hook and ladder truck and taking me for a ride in the chief's car. My father followed in his footsteps, and I would follow in theirs. I rode ladder 44 until I left for medical school. One time, as a teenager, my dad and I were at the firehouse. One of my dad's patients was walking and called us over. "What are you doing this for?" he asked. "It's dangerous." You see, he'd grown up in a city with a paid fire department. My dad gave a better answer than I could. "Don't you want someone to come when your house is on fire?" The man nodded. My dad then continued, "Then the question is, why aren't you doing this? You should join. We would be happy to have you." As you look at the injustice of our time, you may be asking yourselves the same kind of question. Why am I going to risk my neck for this broken system? The medical, racial, financial, and sociological challenges in this country can seem insurmountable. I could put the same question to you now that my dad put to our neighbor then. Do you want someone to help when you need it? But there's more to it than that. When you became a doctor, you didn't make a promise to your medical school, the healthcare system, or Sally Mae. You made a promise to humanity, to heal the sick when you could, to offer comfort when you couldn't, and to bear witness when you could do neither. That promise didn't come with a get-out-of-jail-free card to be used in case of pandemic, a lack of hazard pay, or leaders who are nothing of the sort. You know this in your heart. So ask yourself what you believe in, and then act accordingly. Don't make decisions based on economics, because there isn't enough money in the world to balance the sacrifice you may be called to make. Don't make it based on some imagined opt-out protest against an uncaring system. Our individual protests, and indeed our lives, are inconsequential to the powerful. As good people with good hearts, you know what you value. If you do not abide it, I promise that you will lie alone someday and ask yourself, why didn't I help? There won't be anything to ease your conscience in that hour. So I say to you now, decide what you stand for. Decide what you owe the community that has given you so much. And then behave in a way that is authentic to yourself as a human and as a physician. Act in a way you can be proud of in 50 years. Contribute what you can. It's a long fight, and all we have is each other. Listen, I'm out of time. You were my students. Today I'm proud to call you my colleagues. You are already far better physicians than I was at your age, and your patients will be lucky to have you. Good luck to you all.